If you were under attack, what would you do to protect yourself? Is there anyone you know to whom you could turn for help? What if I told you that the Lord of all creation wants you to put your hope in Him, and that if you do so, He will come to your aid? Is this even possible? Let's find out.
Accompany me as we heed the words of the prophet Jeremiah and the apostle John. Join me as we investigate the sacred pages of the ancient prophetic text we call the Old Testament in search of Messiah.
We live in a world that is full of hardship and trials. If you are not now facing a trial that will require courage on your part, chances are good that you soon will be. How can you prepare for these obstacles, and are there any answers to be found in the Scriptures that will help you to overcome them? Psalm 27 was written by David, who as a young man was on his way to becoming king of Israel. He recounts for us in this psalm that he was besieged by enemies who slandered him and sought to see him put to death. Instead of languishing in despair, David displays an inner confidence in his God. In verse 1, he begins with this: "The Lord is my light and my salvation. Whom shall I fear? The Lord is the strength of my life. Of whom shall I be afraid?" But just how did David come to this point of resolute trust and confidence in the Lord? What advice can he relay to us that will help us to display that same faith in the Lord? David concludes Psalm 27 with verse 14, where he gives a prescription for us to follow. "Wait on the Lord, be of good courage, and He shall strengthen thine heart. Wait, I say, on the Lord." There are two key Hebrew words in this counsel by David for us that we need to understand. The first, which is translated wait, is the word Kavvah. The root word for Kavvah is also found in the Hebrew word for hope. So Kavvah can mean to look for with anticipation or to hope. The first part of David's advice shows us that to wait on the Lord is to place your hope or Kavvah in the Lord. Remember, the ancient Hebrew letters are pictograms that are content-driven. There is information in the pictures. What can these pictograms reveal that will help us gain a deeper understanding of this act of faith? Kavvah is spelled Kuf, Vav, He. Kuf is the picture of the back of the head and means behind, the least or the last. Vav's the picture of the wooden hook or the metal nail and means to fasten two things together that are separated from one another. He is the picture of the man with outstretched hands to the heavens and means to behold, to reveal, or to pay attention to what follows. Here we can see that those in need, the least, will be connected to the Lord as they lift their arms to Him and behold Him. David reminds us as he continues verse 14 that we must be resolute in this. We must be of good courage. Don't quit too soon and don't give up. The English words good courage come from the Hebrew word Chazak, which means to bind fast, to make firm or strong, to support, or to display strength. Chazak is spelled Het, Zion, Kuf. Het is the picture of the fence and means private, separated, and protected like a sanctuary or an inner room. Zion is a picture of the pruning tool and means to cut, pierce, or harvest. Kuf, as we just saw, means behind, the least or the last. What can the information embedded in the ancient pictograms detail for us? Chazak contains this idea: the person that is feeling weak, that is behind or last, will be cut off or separated from that and surrounded and fenced into a place that is a sanctuary, a place of protection. Each of these Hebrew letters are also numbers. Based on the way those numbers are used throughout the Scriptures, they also contain information that we can use. Het, which is the number 8, stands for a new beginning. Zion, which is the number 7, stands for spiritual perfection. Kuf, which is the number 100, means election or the children of promise. Now you can see that this person of good courage is going to experience a new beginning that is part of God's plan of spiritual perfection that is ultimately only offered to the children of promise. In this passage, David demonstrates the principle that when we place our anticipation or hope in the Lord, Kavvah, and we continue resolutely, Chazak, He will come alongside and strengthen our hearts. Amazingly, the Lord will produce courage in your heart in response to your unwavering hope in Him. It is no accident that Psalm 27 is one of the favorites in the public religious readings of the Jews. Ashkenazic Jews, those primarily from the dispersion into Eastern Europe, recite it morning and evening for 50 days during their fall feast cycle every year. It is an accident that these Jews read Psalm 27 100 times each year? I think not, even if the significance is lost on them. Interestingly, the 100 readings is a reminder that these Jews are God's elect. As well, it is customary for the congregation in each synagogue at the end of the reading of the last verse in each book to stand and recite together, Chazak, Chazak v'ni Chazak. This means, be strong, and be strengthened. Why do you suppose that this has become their custom? Perhaps because the Lord doesn't always respond as soon as we might wish, but the message here is to not give up. And why is that? Because as David states, those who wait and continue to hope in the Lord of all creation will have their hearts filled with courage by Him.
Thank you for taking the time to listen to this Hebrew word study. It is our prayer that you will draw closer to your Heavenly Father as you consider the divine revelation of Messiah, Yeshua HaMashiach, the Son of God. Until next time, Shalom.
We hope this study was a blessing to you and encouraged you in your faith. For more Hebrew Word Study videos, you can visit our site at thelivingwordin3d.com. And if you'd like to investigate this further, you can get the book from our online bookstore at rockislandbooks.com.